तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः। ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः। ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः। ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः। ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः। ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयममृतात् स्वाहा। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयममृतात् स्वाहा। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयममृतात् स्वाहा। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयममृतात् स्वाहा। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयममृतात् स्वाहा। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयममृतात् स्वाहा। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयममृतात् स्वाहा। ॐ स्वाहा। ॐ स्वाहा।
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Satsang. Let's begin with the prayer. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, Friend, Beloved God, Lord Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Mahashaya, Swami Sri Yukteswar, and our beloved Guru, our Mahasi Yogananda, beloved friend Swamiji, saints of all religions, we very humbly kneel at thy feet. Divine Mother, bless our lives with a growing awareness of your love within our hearts. Guide our thoughts, guide our actions, guide every moment with your joy, your bliss, your unconditional love, and inspire us always to share these blessings with everyone whom you send to us. We are thy children. We want only thee, Lord. Be thou ours. Om Shanti Shanti. Amen. Now please sit down and we'll do some chanting and meditation.
এমন দিন কি হবে মাতারার, এমন দিন কি হবে মাতারার, যবে তারা 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 বলে তারা বেয়ে পড়বে ধারা, তারা 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 বলে তারা বেয়ে পড়বে ধারা, এমন দিন কি হবে মাতারার, এমন দিন কি হবে মাতারা, হৃদিপদ উঠবে উঠে, মনের আধার যাবে তুতে, হৃদিপদ উঠবে উঠে, মনের আধার যাবে তুতে, তখন ধরা তলে পর্বলুতে তারা বলে হব সারা, ধরা তলে পর্বলুতে তারা বলে হব সারা, এমন দিন হবে তারা, এমন দিন কি হবে মা তারা, জীব সভে দাবে উঠে যাবে মনে রোখে, জীব সভে দাবে উঠে যাবে মনে রোখে, ওরে সত্য সত্য সত্যবে তারা আমার নিরাকারা, সত্য সত্য সত্যবে তারা আমার নিরাকারা, এমন দিন কি হবে মা তারা, এমন দিন কি হবে মা তারা, শ্রীরাম প্রসাদ রথে মা বিরাজে সর্বঘতে, শ্রীরাম প্রসাদ রথে মা বিরাজে সর্বঘতে, ওরে আখি অন্ধ দেখো মাকে তিমির তিমির ভরা, আখি অন্ধ দেখো মাকে তিমির তিমির ভরা, এমন দিন কি হবে মা তারা, এমন দিন কি হবে মা তারা, যবে তারা 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 বলে তারা 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 বলে তারা 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 বলে তারা বেয়ে পড়বে ধারা, তারা 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 বলে তারা বেয়ে পড়বে ধারা, এমন দিন কি হবে মা তারা, এমন দিন কি হবে মা তারা। Through all trials we sing thy name, joy in thee is life's sole aim. Through all trials we sing thy name. Joy in thee is life's sole aim. Through all trials we sing thy name. Joy in thee is life's sole aim. Through all trials we sing thy name. Joy in thee is life's sole aim. Through all trials we sing thy name. Joy in thee is life's sole aim. Through all trials we sing thy name. Joy in thee is life's sole aim. Through all trials we sing thy name. Joy in thee is life's sole aim. Through all trials we sing thy name. Joy in thee is life's sole aim. Through all trials we sing thy name. Joy in thee is life's sole aim. Through all trials we sing thy name. Joy in thee is life's sole aim. Through all trials we sing thy name. Joy in thee is life's sole aim. Through all trials we sing thy name. Joy in thee is life's sole aim. Through all trials we sing thy name. Joy in thee is life's sole aim. Through all trials we sing thy name. Joy in thee is life's sole aim. Through all trials we sing thy name. Joy in thee is life's sole aim. Through all trials we sing thy name. Joy in thee is life's sole aim. Through all trials we sing thy name. Joy in thee is life's sole aim. Through all trials we sing thy name. Joy in thee is life's sole aim. Through all trials we sing thy name. Joy in thee is life's sole aim. Through all trials we sing thy name. Joy in thee is life's sole aim. Through all trials we sing thy name. Joy in thee is life's sole aim. Through all trials we sing thy name. Joy in thee is life's sole aim.
Inhale and tense the body and weight. Vibrate every muscle, every cell with joy. Relax and throw the breath out. Again. Concentrate deeply at the spiritual eye and on the breath. Practice the Hong Sau technique. If you know it, become very aware of your breath as it flows in and out of the nasal cavity. Stilling the mind, calming the heart. Feeling the presence of Divine Mother within you and all around you. Feel enveloped in her love. Feel secure in the knowledge that you are part of her. And she is part of you. And she will never leave you. Open up to Divine Mother's love. And truly try to feel her in your heart. We'll meditate for about 5 minutes. Well, good morning again, everybody. Welcome to our Sunday Satsang. This is a reading from Whispers from Eternity, a book of prayers and poems by our Guru, Paramahansa Yogananda. This particular poem or prayer is called, "Hidden in the ashes of burnt sadness, I found the golden presence. Father divine, banish me not in silence. I stand lonely without thee. Let me not become imprisoned in my work, so that I forget thee. I will go within, in meditation, to bring thee without into the marketplace of life. Wherever thou dost place me, there thou must come. Hidden within the ashes of my burnt sadness, I shall find thy golden presence." And this is another reading from the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. This is explained by Paramahansa Yogananda and as remembered by his disciple, Swami Kriyananda. This is from chapter 18, verse 59. If, indulging your ego, you should determine, I will not fight, you would have to fight anyway, obliged to do so by nature, your own as well as cosmic. The explanation by Yogananda. That devotee who, after incarnations of struggle and effort, has acquired the nature of a spiritual warrior, determined to vanquish every inner weakness, will be driven to fight anyway by that nature, and also by the help of cosmic nature, which his efforts have summoned until every delusion is vanquished. These words of Krishna are supremely reassuring, for it does happen that the devotee, even after long struggle to perfect himself, recoils suddenly thinking, oh no, not this one too. Some delusion may seem particularly dear to him and may even persuade him to think and protest, why must I give up even this fond idea or this dear attachment? Fortunately for his devotion, once he has reached the firm resolve to offer himself wholly to God, even God or the Divine Mother will protect him and will keep his feet firmly on the path. His fleeting nostalgia for that sweet aspect of Maya evaporates, and he finds himself once again determined to engage in yet another battle. And that's the story of the devotee's life, the battle between light and darkness within our own consciousness. I wanted to begin by seeing a video which I found from Nayaswami Devi. It's a 5-minute video, and she addresses this topic so perfectly. So I wanted to listen to and see that video, which we will see right now, and then we'll go on from there.
And I want to really assure you that as long as there is some part of you that wants the spiritual life, even if it's a little bitty part, you're not a fraud. That's genuine. And that's why Master's brilliant explanation of the Bhagavad Gita, that it's not about two armies, it's about our mental citizens and our democracy within. And we're all voting, aren't we? All our citizens are voting in different ways. Some are voting for truth and integrity, and some are voting for self-interest. And because there are still those mental citizens that are voting for the lower part of ourselves, does not negate the fact that we have other soldiers. Please believe that, because it's so important. That's why Master said that the Kurukshetra is an inner conflict. And that's what the spiritual life is. It's an inner conflict between our higher nature and our lower nature. Or that part of us that wants God and that part of us that isn't so sure. And what we need to do, just like in an election, everybody's going to vote. All of our mental citizens have the right to vote. But we need to just have a campaign, get really good ads out there for the side we want to win, and just keep strengthening the positive qualities. And the negative parts of ourselves, the indifferent parts of ourselves, gradually, the energy withdraws from them. And that's, again, Master's brilliant interpretation. Because Krishna, Arjuna says to Krishna, as he looks at the battle with his good and bad tendencies, and he said, I can't fight the bad tendencies, they're part of myself. But what Krishna says then is nothing dies. Those tendencies, yeah, they are part of yourself, but just take that energy and move it over to the side of your positive qualities. And little by little, the negative votes, the naysayers, just become weaker and weaker till finally you can't even hear them. You can't hear them. And I remember going one day to one of our school award ceremonies, and I believe it was Narani's class, and they would have this game called Little Self, Big Self, and the kids would play it with each other, and when one was acting selfish or mean or whatever it was, the other children would say, little self, and when one of them was acting, generous, kind, joyful, then the other kids would say, big self. And this one little boy got up. He was a first grader, I think. Very sweet little boy. And he just said, we would play this game all year round. And by the end of the year, I couldn't even remember my little self. Well, that's what happens to us. The democracy gets replaced by an enlightened monarchy. And the kingdom, the philosopher king, the guru within us reigns. And we understand at last, okay, maybe I'm not there 100% God, but the good guys are winning. And even if they're not necessarily winning, as long as they keep fighting, you will win, because God and Guru are on your side. And they will help you through. They will help you win the battle. That's why Krishna drove Arjuna's chariot. I won't fight for you, but I'll drive your chariot. And that's what God and Guru do for us. And so, my friends, never give up. Never get discouraged. The kingdom of our soul inevitably, inescapably, ineluctably, that kingdom will triumph. And then we'll be able to receive everything we wanted to know, all the answers to the universe, all the esoteric knowledge. It will be there for us. But more important than any of it, we will know God. We will know that joy, that love. We need to do the work on our part. We need to open up and receive the teachings that our Guru has given us. And then we have to just accept ourselves and say, Lord, maybe I'm at the very end of the race, but I'm still running, and I won't stop until I cross the finish line. And with God and Guru's grace, we will all cross that finish line.
And Devi has spoken for all of us, and she has lived her life according to these principles. And so now she's enjoying the fruits of that battle. And that's what happens. The battle will never stop until we have melted into God. The battle will be there, but the battle becomes easier. Because the more we give ourselves to the Guru, the more we give ourselves to Divine Mother, the more we fight on the side of the light, the darkness diminishes as if it had never been. When we first get onto the spiritual path, there's so much inspiration. We've been yearning for so many incarnations, but in this particular incarnation, which is the one we find ourselves in, this incarnation, we are faced with, again, this battle, our little self and our big self. And we come in as devotees, as seekers of the light, as disciples of a great guru, as lovers of God. We come in really having already won the battle, because we are on the side of Krishna. We are on the side of the guru. We are on the side of light. We have more help and support than we could ever conceive of in this incarnation, which is the one I'm speaking of. But what to say of all the other incarnations that led us to this point? We've been struggling for a very, very, very long time. Swamiji said billions of incarnations. And so a force has been created, as we read in the Gita this morning, a force, a cosmic force has been created within our souls that we've become a part of. We have become a part of a great spiritual light and energy and love because of our efforts in the past. And we are not in this alone in this incarnation. The force of that love of the Guru and God is propelling us to freedom. All we have to do is to be still and know that God is there. That's our job. It seems impossible sometimes to still the mind. It seems impossible to be calm, to live a spiritual life when all around you people are not interested, and it's such a material place that we find ourselves. But never forget that the point where you have accepted into this life, into this incarnation, never forget that God is on your side, and God created you, and God wants you to come home. So all you have to do, it's not even that much of an effort. You have to ask the Guru to battle for you, and he will. The Pandavas were few, only 5, but they had Krishna. Material, Drunona, whatever, I can't say the name, Drunona, the material, all that side of us, all that karma, all that ego, millions of soldiers seemingly fighting against us. But how can they win when you have the light of God on your side? You turn on the light and the darkness as if it's never been. So in the beginning of this spiritual life, when we find ourselves with all the blessings, the Guru buys books, music, meditation, Kriya Yoga, grace, joy, love, all of the blessings. When we find ourselves, in the beginning, it's just overwhelming. We just have to pinch ourselves to say, how did we ever deserve this? How did we ever come to this point where now we have the help? Because what has propelled us? Our desire for God. And it's increased after every incarnation. Even if we've had great suffering, that increases it even more. I don't want this world. I blew it. I went the wrong way. I attached myself to the wrong things. I fell into delusion. It brought me nothing but suffering. So that suffering propelled us to the point in this incarnation where we have a God-realized master that will free us. The only thing is that we have to let him. We have to allow him to work through us. We have to allow him to free us. And we have to accept into our lives all of the challenges, everything he gives us. Because only love is his motivation. Only love. Why would he give you anything that wouldn't free you? We need to trust that everything in our lives right now in this incarnation is given to us by Divine Mother, who loves us beyond what we can imagine. Swamiji said, Divine Mother loves you so much more than you love her. I love that. And it's true. But we're learning to love her. And then Master told Swami, teach me to love you as you love me. And he said, how can the cup hold the whole ocean? How can that be? And so what do we want to do? We want to open up to the ocean. We want to go within, throw that cup away, open up completely with no restrictions and no container holding our receptivity to Divine Mother's love. We need to open to her love. She will guide us. She will tell us what to do. She will give us all the help that we need to find her. That's all there is to it. St. John Vianney said, you would die if you knew how much God loves you. We should meditate on that love. We should meditate on Divine Mother. We should meditate on the saints and what they have achieved and what they give us in their experience of divine love, because that is the purpose of our lives. And it's not just for us. It's not just for us. The more we become in tune to the Guru, the more we become open to Divine Mother's love, the natural result of that is more love and more love and more love. For who? For all of those people that God has sent you. All of those people. We have a responsibility to share. We have a responsibility. And we don't have to look far and wide. We don't have to have 1,000 people listening to our voices. And we don't have to, it's just right in front of you. And God will show you that once you heal and through love, the situation you find yourself in, then those souls will be able to heal and love the situations they find themselves in. So this is the purpose of it. We are instruments, but we're empty vessels. Our ego holds us back. Our ego says we're too tired. My job is too intense. I work long hours. My boss isn't dharmic. I don't make enough money. We were so enthusiastic at the beginning of the spiritual path, but then, life goes on and you start getting bogged down with these thoughts, these karmas that our ego has attached itself to separate us from the very source, the very solution, the very love that will heal all of that and will guide you and tell you what to do every moment of your life. But we get bogged down. That's the battle. And then if you're home with a child that's maybe unruly, or you're getting bored with being inside during this COVID, or you're getting frustrated, or your home life is not what you imagined, and maybe the relatives are irritating and you want a different life, and so you start thinking, that's all you think about. Now you have your job to worry about. Now you have your family to worry about. And you worry, worry, worry. Master said, go on a worry fast and think of me. As soon as you turn toward that light, all these problems that will still be there, they'll still be there. But you have to understand that the one constant in this world, the one constant is that there is going to be change in your life. There is. The relatives will pass on, the children will grow up, the job will change, the bosses will change, your environment will change. But the other thing that you can always be sure of, absolutely, beyond a doubt, 100%, is that God never changes. God is always there with you. Let the world come and go. Let the suffering happen. Let your health be good or bad. Let the children succeed or not. Give your life to God, and all these things shall be added onto you. And all these problems that we have, that we get enmeshed in, that's the battle. That's the karma. And through all of our incarnations, we have had the same thought forms. That's why we have them in this incarnation. I'm so tired, I can't do it. We lose our enthusiasm. We let our sadhana go. We become so immersed in the details of this material life that we forget what was the thing at the beginning of this incarnation when I set foot onto the spiritual path. What was that thing? It was the sadhana given to us by the Guru. That's the tool. That is the chariot. That is the force that will help you to stay centered through all of it. It will help you. And oftentimes that's the very first thing that goes. And people say, oh, well, my seva is my sadhana. I've heard that a lot. And Swami would say, yeah, in a way, but the Guru gave us meditation and Kriya Yoga to align our energies and our consciousness with a higher consciousness, so that when life happens, we are aligned with that great force of unconditional love of the Guru that will help us get through in a positive way without creating any more karma. The Guru will take your karma if you give it to him. And you have to think of him to give it to him. And you have to meditate to feel his presence in your life. Don't give up your sadhana until the end and say, oh, when the kids are gone, oh, when grandma passes on, oh, when will you find God? You can find him in this instant. In this instant. A disciple said to Master, well, if I wanted to be free, and I just thought, I want to be free, well, I wouldn't really be if I just had that thought. And Master said, you answered your own question. I wouldn't really be. And that's what's always going back in our mind. I wouldn't really be, I really can't, I don't want to do it. Don't bother me. I want to make this material world perfect, and then I will go for my spiritual life. But remember the feeling when you first got onto the spiritual path. That's a blessing. That's a deep blessing that when we sit to meditate, and something I try to do, because we get bogged down too. Nayaswamis get bogged down too. All disciples get bogged down because we're here. And if we're here because we have karma to work out. Sri Yukteswar said, if you're not here, then you'll be in another planet, working out your karma there, or you'd be in a higher plane. So don't think you're so special. You're here, we're all here because we have karma to work out. But oftentimes I'll sit in my meditation and I'll say to Master, and I'll pray to Swami, and I'll say, help me to feel what I felt. The very first inclination that I had that you are part of my life, that God is here, that my heart was open, that I was filled with love, that everything was new and fresh and exciting and thrilling, that finally I was going to find what I was looking for in this life. Help me to feel that again. I sit there and I just get glimmers of it. And it's so reassuring because it's the same feeling. And that feeling is a very powerful feeling in the beginning, and it carries us through when it gets to be very difficult to keep God at the forefront of our mind and in our heart. It gets difficult. This world is designed to keep us away, and that's the battle that Davy was talking about. That's the battle. We can win that battle. I wanted to mention also about children. Davy told that sweet story about the children. Little self, big self, and I can't even remember my little self anymore. As parents, as aunties, as uncles, as grandparents, it's our responsibility, I really feel, to share these yogic, blessed teachings with our children. Somebody asked me, well, why can't we have a Sunday school? Could we have a Sunday school? And I remember when our daughter was very little, we said the same thing. Well, why doesn't somebody start a Sunday school? We need a Sunday school for our daughter. Well, guess what? Nobody said, oh, I'll do it. So Haridas and I did Sunday school. Ananda, who has no children, he started a Sunday school. in Sacramento. He used to do Sunday school. They used to trade off. That's what Swami was showing us. If you have the idea, perhaps it's from Divine Mother, and maybe that's a situation through which you can grow, through which you can share this vibration. This is where we find ourselves with our children. This is where we find ourselves in our families. Why wait? Who are you waiting for? The great PhD Sunday school professor to arrive in your center and lay it all out for you so you can turn on Zoom and just say, okay, now we have a Sunday school. It doesn't work that way. The seed is planted in you. If you want your children to grow spiritually, you are the primary instrument. It's true. So let's start a Sunday school. Let's get the parents together. Let's share ideas. Simple. All you have to do, I was just thinking of this, I don't want to digress, but super conscious living exercises, a prayer, a few yoga postures, short children's meditation, and a story, healing prayers, done. That's Sunday school on Zoom. Anybody could do it. But what we need to do is understand the importance of raising our children with these principles, because that is what you are giving them to help them through this world. They don't have anything else. This world is falling apart. Everything is changing. Everything is not the same as it was a month ago. And so children are so vulnerable, but open and receptive. And now is the time for parents and adults to give the next generation these spiritual teachings. We have a school happening now. In the beginning, Nitai said, oh, well, I want to start a school. So he didn't just sit there and hope that it dropped out of the sky. He started from scratch. Now we have living wisdom schools all over the world. We don't have to have a blueprint right in front of us. The blueprint, Master said, is in the ether. And that's why we keep our sadhana strong. So that when we sit to meditate, we can ask for that guidance. How do you want me to do this? Where should I put my energy? How do you want me to share these teachings? Also, children are so receptive at young ages. And I mean little kids all the way to teenagers and beyond. But they're just so receptive, and you can give them the tools they need to fight their battle. Because they're going to have their battles, they have their karma. But they have extremely good karma to be born into a family of a yogi. Extremely good karma. And we have good karma to have them because they'll teach us how to share these teachings. We teach each other. And so it's not just you giving them all of your wisdom. They are giving you an opportunity to share God's love in this world. It's so important right now because they need our support and they need God's love, and they need to know they can turn to God at any time in their life, even when you're not there, So I would encourage at least the people in Bangalore, whoever's listening, I don't know who's listening, but come together. Plan a little Sunday school once a week, because that will plant the seed in them. They may not like it, and oh, I don't want to go to Sunday school. You know, kids are kids. Have it every week. They'll learn. I know that when we were doing Sunday school here at the center, kids were chanting at home. They heard the chants. They heard the stories. It uplifted their consciousness. So this will make them aware that there is another world. They're part of that great force too. They're part of that consciousness. It's not just for us. It's for everyone. And it seems to me that Divine Mother gave us our children to be able to share this so that the next generation, nothing happens by accident. They need it. They absolutely need it. So we need to just be open to that idea. I think that Divine Mother is so wanting this teaching to come out now, wanting her vibration to come into the world. People are desperate. And it's up to us to be able to share what we can. And it's just so simple. It's so simple. So that was something that I wanted to say, but also I wanted to Encourage people. Don't let go of your sadhana. Never let go. Sister Gyanamata said, hold on to the Guru's feet and ask him to never stop praying for you. That sadhana is our weapon against this delusion, that naysaying delusion that we can't do it. We can do it. We can do anything that Divine Mother wants us to do. We are a part of a great force of light. And we saw it, you know, this weekend with everybody calling and talking to all the students and all the people that are looking for the light. It's very inspiring to see that all it takes is a phone call to awaken somebody just a little bit. Not have them think. Whether they sign up for the program or not, that's not the point. The point is they feel your concern. The point is they feel God's love through you. That's the point of these phone calls. It's not that, oh, we had 5,000 Facebook clicks or whatever. The point is that each individual phone call, if you are in your center, if you have meditated, if you are praying for that person on the phone, if they feel God's love, then that this whole thing has been a success. That's what this is about. It's spreading the light. I had a comment from one of our students recently, and she said, she was just taking level 1, and she said, I felt so much love coming from the teacher, so much love. She didn't say, okay, now I meditate 20 minutes and I can feel the Hong Soundness energy in my spine and I can see the spiritual line. And no, she said, I felt so much love coming from the teacher. I was so pleased. I thought, that's what it is. Because I don't think I would have gotten onto the spiritual path if I hadn't felt that love, if I hadn't felt that joy coming from disciples that had experienced Divine Mother before me, and now we're happy to share. I don't know if I hadn't felt that love coming from Swami. I would have thought, well, it's just another exercise. But no, the love drew me, that love. And I will always, always be grateful to those teachers and those friends and those guru bhais who reached out to just a lonely woman that needed some help. Just there it was. There was a help. I was ready. My karma was right. Master helped. And I joined Ananda. It's in those moments, the little tiny moments, where the most power can be done. The little moments. Don't negate what your life is worth as a guru bhai, as a disciple of Master. Don't negate that. Every single person, every single soul is a pure channel for God, and so important in his quest to free this world and bring us into the light. So important. And our karma is our karma. So it changes, it'll go away. Don't concentrate on it. Don't worry about it. We did it a long time ago. We're in it now. Forget about it. Forget about it. Only love God. Only love God. And let him work through you, because our lives, they're not meant just for us. They're just not meant for just for us. They're meant to bring joy and light and unconditional love and healing into this world. And you don't have to be a great professor and a great speaker and a great anything. You don't even have to know anything about Kundalini or anything. You don't have to know all the scientific experiments on the brain about meditation, none of that. You just need love. And that love is the magnet that will draw us all back to God. And when we get into the astral world, we are going to be very, very surprised at the souls that we've touched that we never dreamed we touched. And they're going to come up and they're going to say, thank you. And you're going to feel a deep gratitude to those that helped you. And we're all going to feel such gratitude, such love together, knowing that we did this together. Our spiritual family was a powerful force for love. That's what life is about. You know, Swami wrote that beautiful song. I just want to read with my glasses. The beautiful song of Swami's. He said, Too long did I stray. Too long did I stray. I flung lifetimes away, imagining that you did not care. I know now your smile was mine all the while. I listened and love was there. So beautiful. And so for all of us, we've thrown lifetimes away. Let's not throw this lifetime away. Let's keep our sadhana strong. Let's open our hearts to that love. Let's feel that smile of Divine Mother in our hearts, because that's the only thing that matters. That's the only thing that matters. Whether we win the battle or we lose the battle, or, we're in delusion our whole lives, if we can keep the awareness of that smile of Divine Mother in our hearts, then we are on the right path. And what we spoke of in the beginning of the talk, that force of long incarnations, trying and striving and doing sadhana and loving God and succeeding and failing, there's a force that we've created to bring us to the feet of the Guru in this lifetime. That force will carry us through. Never give up. Like Devi said, never give up. And wonderfully that we will all be hand in hand, dancing in the light together, as that wonderful chant of Swami's tells us. So there's just some ideas where how we could serve and how we can help one another and how we can stay in the light and not worry so much about all of the things that are happening. They're happening. We can't really change it, but we can change ourselves. So God bless you. And I want to listen to one more song of Swami's before we do the Aarti. And may you have a wonderful week. God bless you.
Lord, I am thine, I am thine, I am thine. Lord, I am thine, I am thine. Lord, I am thine, I am thine, I am thine. Lord, I am thine, I am thine. Be thou mine, oh, be thou mine. Be thou mine, oh, be thou mine. I am thine, I am thine. Be thou mine, oh, be thou mine. Be thou mine, oh, be thou mine. I am thine, I am thine. Lord, I am thine, I am thine, I am thine. Lord, I am thine, I am thine. Lord, I am thine, I am thine, I am thine. Lord, I am thine, I am thine. Be thou mine, oh, be thou mine. Be thou mine, oh, be thou mine. I am thine, I am thine. Be thou mine, oh, be thou mine. Be thou mine, oh, be thou mine. I am thine, I am thine. Lord, I am thine, I am thine, I am thine. Lord, I am thine, I am thine. Lord, I am thine, I am thine, I am thine. Lord, I am thine, I am thine. Be thou mine, oh, be thou mine. Be thou mine, oh, be thou mine. I am thine, I am thine. Be thou mine, oh, be thou mine. Be thou mine, oh, be thou mine. I am thine, I am thine.
Now, Haridas and I would like to offer a blessing to all of you. And as you receive this blessing, offer a prayer of gratitude to the infinite Christ, in whose love our line of masters have descended, that we might all come to pray for the grace to share with all as you have received. For you are a part of all that is. May the light of the great masters shine upon you. Now let's do a healing prayer for all those on our healing prayer lists, all those who are in need of prayers in their bodies, in their minds, and in their souls, for souls everywhere in need on this planet. Let's also include light and healing energy into this natural world, the natural world of beauty, all the rivers, the trees, the vegetation, the sky, the flowers, the oceans. See everything in God's world shimmering with light, shimmering with love. And see every living being in this world shimmering and filled with that same light and that same love. And let's pray, Divine Mother, thou art omnipresent. Thou art in all thy children. Manifest thy healing presence in all bodies, in all minds, and in all souls. ease. Go out with joy.